Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games, Collectibles. And today we are looking at something that's now quite old, is quite rare and very, very collectible. We are looking at the 1996 release by Playmates from their Star Trek 30th anniversary series of the 9-inch action figures. And this particular one we are looking at today is of Lieutenant Hikaru Sulu, and it's as he appeared in the original episode, 1966 pilot episode in actual fact, which was called Where No Man Has Gone Before. Now, for those of you that know Star Trek, obviously it was a 3-season television series which ran for 79 episodes. And it ran from September 1966 through to June 1969 on its original transmission, and it featured the now classic cast of William Shatner as Captain James T. Kirk, Leonard Nimoy as Mr. Spock, DeForest Kelley as Dr. McCoy, George Takei as Lieutenant Hikaru Sulu, Walter Koenig as Chekhov, Nichelle Nichols as Lieutenant Uhura, James Doohan as Montgomery Scott, and Major Barrett as Christine Chapel. They were the main stars of the television show. As I say, it ran for 3 seasons and 79 episodes produced. Now, there was the original pilot which was originally produced, which was called The Cage, and that starred Jeffrey Hunter as the captain of the USS Enterprise. However, the pilot was rejected, and a second pilot was ordered to be shot. And the second pilot was more like a space western, which is what it was. Gene Roddenberry sold it as, that was hence the start of the Star Trek original series as we know it, with William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy. And the pilot episode was called When No Man Has Gone Before. And this particular figure we're looking at today is of Lieutenant Hikaru Sulu as he appeared in that pilot episode. Okay, so this is the figure in front of us, and it says Star Trek Collector Edition. And there you can see the figure just behind the window there. And at the bottom it says Lieutenant Hikaru Sulu comes complete with Starfleet Gear, including Starfleet Phaser, Starfleet Communicator, Starfleet Tricorder, and a Starfleet Action Base. It says, as seen in the 1966 pilot episode Where No Man Has Gone Before, age 4 and up, and you've got the Playmates logo. And you've got Star Trek 30th anniversary logo there as well. It says assortment number 16095 and stock number 16099. And you've got warning, choking hazard, small parts, not for children under 3 years. Okay, that's the front of the box. Let's spin the box around now and let's have a look at what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I've turned the box around. This is what we got on the back. So at the very top it says Star Trek, and this original Star Trek logo. Ages 4 and up, Lieutenant Hikaru Sulu Collector Edition. It says fully articulated figure. Starfleet gear includes Starfleet Phaser, which is a personal issue defensive armament. Starfleet Communicator, which is personal communications transceiver and locator. Starfleet Tricorder, electronic sensor and sound visual recording system. And Starfleet Action Base. Mr. Sulu stands by to explore beyond the galaxies. As seen in the 1966 pilot episode When No Man Has Gone Before. It says storyline. When No Man Has Gone Before was the second Star Trek pilot created by Gene Roddenberry. While the premiere remained largely unchanged from the first pilot, the Cage, only Mr. Spock and the USS Enterprise survived. The uniforms were modified, the sets readdressed, and all other characters replaced. This is the episode where Captain James T. Kirk is seen for the first time. The friendship between Kirk and Spock is established. They play 3D chess and debate the relative merits of human emotions versus Vulcan logic. Playmate honours the important role of Where No Man Has Gone Before in Star Trek history, with the release of 4 very memorable characters, each wearing the uniform only seen in that episode. So it says, the human adventure is just beginning. Collect these 4 special classic Star Trek 30th Anniversary Edition 9-inch characters. And you've got the Playmates web address there, and join the official Star Trek fan club. And then you've these figures in his collection is Captain James T. Kirk, Mr. Spock, Lieutenant Commander Montgomery Scott, and Lieutenant Hikaru Sulu. Again, at the bottom, you've got the Star Trek 30th Anniversary logo, and it's assortment number 16095 and stock number 16099, and you've got the Playmates logo at the bottom. Now, I just want to turn the box to the side, so let's see what we got on the side here. It's got Star Trek Collector's Edition again there. If we turn it up, straight up, at the very top, you can see it says Lieutenant Hikaru Sulu, as seen in the 1966 pilot episode Where No Man Has Gone Before, and Starfleet Gear, Starfleet Phaser, Starfleet Communicator, Starfleet Tricorder, and Starfleet Action Base. Special 30th Anniversary Edition, and again, assortment number 16095, and its item number, or stock number 16099, and you've got the Playmates logo, and ages 4 and up. And it's just spinning around the other side. Yeah, so we've got exactly the same again on the other side. So I'm not going to read it again. We know what it says. I've just read it. Okay, that is the figure in the box. What I think I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the box and take the figure out. I don't think I can remove him from the card because he's still attached there. But let's get him out of the box so we can see him out of the window and in all his glory. Okay, so I have removed Sulu from the box, and this is what we've got. Now, I can't, as I said to you, I can't remove him from the packet because you can see he's all taped up at the back and strapped in, so I can't actually take him off the card. But he does look very good on the card there, and the sculpting of the figure is a pretty good likeness, actually, to Jules Takei, as he looked in that pilot episode. The face, they've got the face spot on there. The hair is just right. The ears are correct. The eyes are right. The nose, maybe the mouth is not quite right. And the colour of the lips is off. But other than that, the actual facial features is very good. So for something that was created in 1996, so 28 years ago, the detailing or the sculpting of the face is very, very good, I must say. And there you can see he's in the blue Star Trek shirt, which was the only time he actually wore that shirt was in that pilot episode. Other than that, he was in the classic gold shirt, as we all know, was Sulu's shirt as the navigator of the Enterprise. There he's in his black trousers and his black boots all the way down there, and they're the puffy trousers at the bottom that puff out over the boots, as they all wore them in the original Star Trek. So very, very good figure, I think. Stands 9 inches tall, which is what the box says, but I think I'm just going to double check that. We're going to measure and it is exactly 9 inches tall, or if we're doing it in centimeters, we're looking at 23 centimeters. Measure across to how he is there now, with his hands apart, we're looking at 12 centimeters, and depth wise we're looking at about 4 centimeters deep. I just noticed the size of his hands. Actually, he's got very big hands, this figure, which I hadn't really noticed on these before, but the hands are quite large in comparison. Maybe, I don't know, maybe he has large hands, I don't know. But they are very defined. Now, we can obviously see the articulation on the arm. So there is the elbow joint. The arm does not move. The top of the arm moves up and down, but there's no rotation of the arm. So you've got the elbow and the top of the arm, which moves articulation-wise. The head obviously turns. The waist moves. The top of the legs will move up and down, and the knees will bend. But that's as far as the articulation goes. So you've got 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 10 points of articulation on these particular figures. But for 1996, that's not too terrible. I think it wasn't long after that they added more articulation to the arms and the legs. So, but this was probably coming to the end of this reign of articulation. They were adding as they went along. I just want to move up and look at these accessories, because I think these accessories are absolutely outstanding. I mean, that's a tricorder, and that is for a miniature version of the tricorder. I think that is absolutely brilliant. Perfectly made to resemble the tricorder as seen in the episode, and even though the screen and the buttons are obviously just stickers, it just looks absolutely fantastic. Really, really good design, that or good replica. And then there's the communicator, and exactly the same again. Fantastic little detailing, even though it's a sticker, but it's so good and looks absolutely amazing. And then of course the classic phaser, and the same thing with that looks absolutely incredible. And it is miniature, and all of these items actually fit into the hands of Sulu. And there he is, absolutely amazing figure, detailing fantastic. Overall, I think these figures were fan-dabby-dozy. Really, really good run of figures, these 9-inch ones. And they did do a fair range of these 9-inch figures, I'm pleased to say. There was quite a lot of them that were produced, different versions that were produced, but a good quantity of 9-inch figures Playmates produced. Although I'm absolutely sure they didn't sell as well as the 5-inch figures that were produced. Obviously, 5-inch figures were just phenomenally selling. These particular figures, well, these figures again, I think were more for the collectors. Well, they were collectors editions anyway, so they were designed and made for the collectors, probably just to open and display. You really wouldn't give these figures really to children to play with. The small parts there, the communicators and the phaser and the tricorder are very small for children to play with. But the figure itself, even though the articulation is pretty good, much better than the 5-inch figures I would hasten to add. But even so, I think these were really more geared for the adult collector rather than children. You don't very often find these in children's toy boxes. It was always the smaller figures. So yeah, I don't believe they produced massive quantities of these figures. Obviously, as with all of them, they're individually numbered, and which adds to the collectability. But overall, the numbers were much lower than the smaller figures. Now let's move forward to 28 years to 2024, which is where we are today. Do these figures come up very often on the platforms? Not really. Not here in the UK, they don't. I have seen a few of them on some of the American platforms, where they do pop up from time to time. But here in the UK, I don't think I've seen any that are available over here. But if you've got the international platform set up, you can buy off of the international ones. So things do become available to the UK through the US, but then you've got, obviously, they've got to be imported, and you've got all the duty and everything else, all the other charges added onto them. But generally, not very often do these figures come up, which is a shame, surprisingly, because I think they're absolutely fantastic. Yeah, what more can I say about these figures? The larger scale figures, I think, really, that Playmates produce, and come to that, all of the manufacturers, not just in Star Trek, but Star Wars, Doctor Who, all of those kind of programs, the bigger figures were so much better, for me, in my opinion, so much more collectible, and they just looked so much better. But then that is my opinion. Someone else might have different opinions to mine. So this figure, along with many of the other 9-inch figures, are currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to very simply by clicking the link below. It will take you straight to the website, where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Trek items, and many other vintage toys, games, and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And also just to remind you that we do have a lot of exclusive items on our website, which we do not sell on the platforms for certain reason and copyright reasons. So there is some absolutely wonderful items on the website that are not on any of the platforms. So just bear that in mind when you're looking on the website. And also don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I'm absolutely positive that this is something that you're not going to want to miss, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or perhaps just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I do hope you've enjoyed reviewing this wonderful action figure with me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you again next video. So bye for now.